Hey everybody, it's Brad coming to you with a new Tubi Tuesday for March. I'm a little late on this one, and for those who don't know what Tubi Tuesday is, this is a video series I do that comes out on the last Tuesday of the month, and I highlight and lowlight some of the films I've watched on Tubi over the past month. And if anyone wants to follow along, you can follow along on social media at Tubi Tuesday on Twitter and Instagram. Or if you want just more than just Tubi, follow our podcast at wearethecinemaguys.com, or you can find the Cinema Guys on any of your podcatchers. All right, let's kick it off with, I always like to start on the bottom half, so we're going to start with our lowlights. And the first one on the list is called Shocking Dark, and it's from 1989. This is a film that was released outside of the U.S. as Terminator 2, and it didn't get released in the United States until 2018. Synopsis of it: in a polluted future Venice, researchers work to improve the situation. One day, unknown forces start killing them. A team of soldiers and a couple of civilians is sent to investigate. Soon, they encounter strange, murderous creatures. So basically, what makes me laugh is that this was marketed as Terminator 2 outside of the United States when it came out. This movie basically rips off the Aliens script quite a bit. There are a lot of scenes that are almost shot-for-shot Aliens, and a lot of lines kind of tweaked a little bit, but very similar to Aliens. And then they throw a killer robot towards the end, kind of like a Terminator. But this movie just wasn't. It was more just very dull. And I expected it to kind of be a silly creature feature kind of thing. Like, the creatures in it a little bit. There's some gore, but for the most part, it's just a very dull movie that you're just like, come on, let's get this rolling. And I would not recommend checking out Shocking Dark. All right, second on the list is a film from 2018, and it is called Gothic Harvest. This stars Lynn Shay and Bill Moseley. And when a young woman disappears during Mardi Gras, her friends race to find her before she falls victim to a sadistic Southern family plagued by a centuries-old voodoo curse. So there's a lot of it that is very similar to something like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or more currently like House of a Thousand Corpses. So it's like the crazy family, and you know, they take someone and she's inside this house, but this just does not work. It is, again, just like Shocking Dark, it is just dull and takes a while to get going. And there are so many scenes that just aren't just fun to watch. Like, not in a bad way. They're just not shot well, edited well, and it just kind of drags and drags. And you're just like, please just get over. That's why I cannot recommend Gothic Harvest. In the final film on my list, which I definitely can't recommend, it was probably the weakest film I watched this entire month, and it also stars Lynn Shay, and it's from 2018 as well, called The Final Wish. And this, following the passing of his father, Aaron returns to his hometown to help his mother to confront his past. Sifting through his father's belongings, Aaron comes across a mysterious item that is far more than it seems. Again, this movie just is not entertaining. These final two films, Lynn Shay, she's a great actress, and you can tell she's bringing it, but nobody else really is. And so when she's on screen, I enjoyed it when she was on screen, but when she's not, it just fell really flat. So I cannot recommend The Final Wish. So let's move up to the top, the top that I watched this past month. And starting it off with a film from 2015 called Bloodsucking Bastards. I mean, you got it. It's a vampire movie. Down on his luck, cubicle worker and his slacker best friend discover their new boss is a vampire who is turning their coworkers into the undead. And this stars Pedro Pascal. And this movie was just fun. It was kind of like an Office Space mixed with, a fun, gory vampire movie. And I had a blast with it. It's not the greatest movie there is, but it was certainly really fun to watch. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I definitely would recommend checking out Bloodsucking Bastards on Tubi. So the next on the list is from 2014, and it is a film called Predestination. This stars Ethan Hawke, and for his final assignment, a top temporal agent must pursue the one criminal that has eluded him throughout time. So this is kind of a time-jumping murder mystery, kind of a criminal movie that I found very enjoyable. Ethan Hawke, I think, is a great actor, so anything he's in, I think he kind of brings his A game. This is directed by the Spierig brothers. If you've ever seen Undead, that movie is very stylized, or if you have seen Daybreakers, also with Ethan Hawke, a vampire film, they have a particular style, which in this film, it doesn't have it as much, but it is a very good kind of a whodunit, time loop, kind of crazy film that by the end, I was like, oh, I kind of enjoyed how they kind of wrapped it up and kind of gave you, I'm not giving anything away, so kind of give you a little twist. So I would definitely recommend checking out Predestination. Now, the final film on my Tubi list is a movie from 1992, and I watched this on Tubi because over on the Cinema Guys Patreon, I did a patron exclusive episode with Julio from the Contrarians podcast where we talked about Alien 3. And anyone who knows this film, Ripley crash lands on Fiorina 167, a prison planet, when a series of strange and deadly events occur. Shortly after her arrival, Ripley realizes that she has brought along an unwelcome visitor. Now, this is one of my favorite films in the Alien franchise. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack, but it is behind Aliens. This movie I love. I just love the darkness of it and the location and kind of the way things play out. I know there's a longer cut that gives you a little more, and it is a better film, but I still enjoy this theatrical cut. And I mean, if you haven't seen Alien 3 by now, like 1992, or you're a fan of Alien, I know it's a divisive film, but Alien 3 is so much fun. And if you want more of a deep dive into it, I mean, become a patron of the Cinema Guys, and you can hear Julio and I kind of break it down a little bit more. So if you just go to patreon.com/thecinemaguyz, you can do just that. Well, that will do it for another Tubi Tuesday for March. I will be back next month with another one of these videos. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss it. And make sure you follow along at Tubi Tuesday. Also follow along with the Cinema Guys at the Cinema Guys on Twitter and Instagram. And also, I have other friends that join me on this Tubi ride. So make sure you follow my friend Drew on at Needs to Be Seen, so TUBI, seen, on Twitter as well, where he posts anything that he watches on Tubi, which I mean, Tubi is a great streaming service, and it has so much to offer, good and bad. And I will be back next month to break down a few more of those tops and bottoms of what I have watched. And remember, Tuesdays aren't just for tacos. We'll see ya.